So we're back. I'm back. Annie's back. Annie's racking out. So day 2. Shut this redneck music off. Day 2 in Pennsylvania. And so had a breakdown late yesterday, just outside Harrisburg. Water pump went on the van, hence no heat. Duh. I should have known that. But anyways, I limped into a shop, and here's the cool thing. Here's why I wanted to mention, turn this thing back on. Is all I had to do was put out the call, man. Really, and I, checked my brother, and I'm like, hey, man, my bro, my army brother, my blood brother. One phone call, and boom, help's on the way. I got one, puts me up in a hotel room. Me and Annie, gets us chow. Another guy calls in, gets the rig fixed to the shop that it went to. Another guy who just happens to live in Pennsylvania. This is the cool thing about veterans, man. Once you put out a call, it's like a network, and it's like a spider web, just takes off, and people just, hey, what do you need? Well, how can I help? This dude right in Pennsylvania, not far from me, like an hour. He's a Army vet, and he's a mechanic. He goes, hooks me up. He's like, what can I do? I'll drive down there. Now I'm like, I already got it in the shop, man. I wish I'd known that, but my point is, that's the Veterans Network, man, and that's what taking care of veterans looks like. Not what you see in today's world. And so when we say we take care of our own, there it is. I don't know what else to say. That's one example of many. So I just got on the road. It's just past 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so this day's shot, right? I'm not going to drive all night because I'm in Pennsylvania, and I'll end up down in Atlanta or Virginia or something. I've never been there, so I'd rather do that in the daytime. Besides, I don't want to miss the views. Right now, I'm driving through these, I think Alleghenies, I'm not quite sure. But instead of continuing down south, so I was going to try to get to North Carolina today. But of course, it's going to be dark in 2 hours, so getting back to my previous video, my late wife is buried in Mill Hall, Pennsylvania, which is just outside State College, Penn State, and in Lock Haven. That's actually where her family's from, Amish country. They know they weren't Amish, but they sure were as good natured as Amish people, at least the ones I've met. And so, if you watched a video or two ago, I mentioned about how she was brought here by her twin brother and laid to rest next to her folks, who passed away. Her mom passed away while Terry was still alive. We were in Alaska then, and I had to fly her down while she was going through cancer treatments so she could be with her dad and her family, and of course we did that. And then shortly after Terry passed away, her dad passed away. He was 82, I think. So he was living in Florida still. So, nutshell. So now I'm heading there, and I've never been there. I've never been to my wife's grave because her ashes were with me for years because I had a hard time letting go. I'm not going to admit that. It was tough. But it was time. And so her brother took some of it home to her home in Pennsylvania. And like I said in the other video, the rest was taken to Scotland and scattered across the Scottish Highlands. So this is a bit of an emotional trip for me, obviously, my first time, and it's been November. This is now December 16th, I think. So November, last month, was 11 years. since I lost my wife to cancer. So it's taken me that long to get here. Not only that, I lived in Alaska, so I didn't come to Pennsylvania ever. I went to Maine once or twice to see family, but so I am about an hour outside of State College. And short story, I don't know what this has to do with veterans, nothing. But I used to work at Penn State at State College at it's called the Nittany Lion Inn when I first graduated culinary school, way back when Moses was a commis or an apprentice. Me and my beloved wife Terry, we came out here to stay with her parents for a little while, and so I got a job out at Penn State working at the Nittany Lion Inn. And true story, they were filming name of that movie, gangster mob movie. Anyway, it was TBI in effect. Hang on, Dead Space. What's his name? Robert De Niro and heck, you're all probably already know what it is, and I don't. Robert, who the heck else was it? Was it Joe Pesci? I don't think it was Pesci. Anyways, they were filming a movie out here. One of them mob movies. I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. It'll come to me as soon as I get off this problem. But, and so they came to the Nittany Island. They were staying there, these famous actors. And so I made them breakfast. I was a breakfast cook then. And I forget what De Niro ordered. I think it was an omelet or something. That was a long time ago. But I don't know, why did I bring that up? Because I haven't thought about that since now. So maybe that's why. And dang it. I can't remember. Danny DeVito. Robert De Niro, I think. More coffee. So, I'm about an hour out from that. You should see this, if you can. Beautiful farmland country, if you can see that. And it's been raining for since I left. I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's just weather, right? Who cares? It's gonna be dry again one day, so why bitch and moan about it? I mean, why complain? I try to keep this PG-13 because I should. Or why complain about the weather? It's gonna change, right? So there's nothing you can do about it. Put on a raincoat. Quit your belly aching. You'll be dry again, trust me. So I'm looking across this huge, vast, wish you all could see it, farmland. It's pretty neat. No, I've been in Alaska for 24 years, so it's as beautiful as Alaska is, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's, America's, and it's beautiful too in some areas, and I forget what it's like because I haven't been here a long time. So this is neat. It's also a way of me avoiding talking about the big white elephant in the room, right? Grief. Yeah, I know lots about that. So maybe this will be along the lines of suicide awareness, because my grief it is a process. It was a tough process. They say there's 5 stages of grief, and yeah, I guess there are. And if you don't go through them, then you're not processing your grief, right? So I spent a long time not going through those processes, avoiding my pain. In other words, running away or running to things to avoid it. Running, drugs, alcohol, bad relationships, all that stuff. So I praise God now, today, I don't have to do that, because now I have enough inner strength, I think, to be able to feel those feelings. That's what most people try to avoid. IED, boom. That's what it looked like. Trash on the side of the road. So you got to feel it to heal it, and that's all there is to it. If you don't, you're gonna end up in a world of trouble. Trust me, because I did. Been there, avoided it. Went to jail. Somebody that I cared very much deeply about was was part of my recklessness behavior, was almost killed. That was my fault. And I buried my pain in either bad relationships. I used women. Women used me. I'm just being real. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing, because you can watch all that crap on TV. And so, drinking, drugging, running, all that, did it. I don't anymore. I quit drinking. I realized it was just a coping mechanism, and it was a dead-end road. I experimented with drugs. Never really got into any hard stuff. Thank God, because I know me. But honestly, I've watched a lot of people, good friends, especially one of those relationships I was in. Unfortunately, once some of that stuff grabs a hold of people, it doesn't let go, or they can't walk away from it. And this one in particular was someone I really, really, really cared about, and she was hooked on meth. I'm really unfamiliar with the stuff, but now it's everywhere. I mean, it's in Alaska. It's right here in Pennsylvania, I'm sure. I know it is. It's got to be. But anyways, and so when we started our relationship, I just thought she was an awesome person, and she is. And she was a registered nurse, and had a great job and a great heart. And she's from Texas, of all places. I smile because I never thought I would ever have anything in common with a gal from Texas, but I tell you what, I've been to Texas since a few times because my son went through Air Force basic training. So I've been to San Antonio a number of times, and I'll tell you what, those Texas girls they have some of the best manners I've ever heard, and they're so proper, and they're well spoken. So getting back to this other girl, so we started this relationship, and she moved in with me in Alaska, and it didn't take long. We laugh about it now. It's not really funny, but it didn't take long for me to realize that something's weird here, man. So one day she started rearranging my kitchen cupboards, and dress, everything's perfect and lined up, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. So I called her out on it, and she admitted it. And because I didn't want to play second fiddle to a glass pipe. I wouldn't. That's dumb. And so I tried a few times. I helped her get off it. But getting back to my point again of that stuff not letting go, or some people can't walk away from it. She could. She would be good for a while, and then she'd take off and go on a bender. And of course, along with drugs comes a whole bunch of other stuff that I just couldn't deal with anymore. And I don't think I need to go into any more details than that. So, grief. She since passed away too. She's OD'd, or it was a result of her methamphetamine use. Is what ultimately destroyed her health and took her life. It's sad. And I guess I'm glad and thankful that I never got into that hard stuff, because I did experiment. I'm not gonna lie again. But I knew myself even then. I had the wherewithal enough to say, yeah, this is not this is not a good choice. And it wasn't. For obvious reasons. So I was able to walk away. So, grief. Processing grief. Tough stuff. And 2 people have died in my arms. My wife and a brother. In just outside Fallujah. And so those were both very bad days. So trying to process that grief. Yeah, I wish this was Jack Daniels right now. But it's not. Black coffee, truck stop. So Rose Kennedy, if I can try to quote her, I'm sure I'll mess this up bad. But of all the things I've read and learned and went through all my therapies, talk therapies and stuff, what Rose Kennedy said made the most sense to me. And she said, somebody said that time heals all wounds. Let me start again. Quoting Rose Kennedy. I have to remember now. That's somebody said that time heals all wounds. I think she said something like that's hogwash, or it's not true. The scar tissue around your heart just grows thicker and you learn to live with it. And I can't agree with it more. She's absolutely right. I believe Rose Kennedy knows something about death and grief. I will, of course. And so it's true. Time doesn't heal all wounds. That's BS. It doesn't go away. You don't miss them any less. You don't love them any less. You learn to live with it. Or you choose not to, like I did, and you run, you hide, you bury that pain because it's hard. It's hard pain. Nobody likes feeling their feelings, especially the bad feelings. I sure as heck didn't. I missed the heck out of my wife. That's why I'm traveling right now to go see her, because this would be maybe some more closure for me, but I miss her every day. It's been 11 years and 12 years since Iraq, 11 years since she passed away. So I think I've had some time to go through all that, those experiences. Not trying to sound dramatic or anything, but I shouldn't have been here many of times. I've tried so many different ways not to feel my feelings, my pain. Again, it's a dead end road. It'll get you either one of two things: you get in jail, you go to jail, or you'll get dead. That's it. Those are your choices, man. I'm telling you for a fact, because both of them. One of them happened to me. I went to jail, and 2, I almost died because I wanted to. And again, not at the risk of sounding dramatic, and I'm not. I'm just being real. I attempted suicide twice. And say, well, attempted, you should have finished it. Right, I should have. First time I was a coward. I wanted the cops to do it. Suicide by cop. Yep, I tried that. And luckily, someone was looking out for me. Thank you. Because the team leader, there was an SRT team sent to my house. The team leader was a veteran, combat veteran, and he recognized what was going on, and he was able to talk me down, not, because as soon as I raised up on them, I was done. Obviously, I barricaded myself in my bedroom and had a loaded weapon. I was going to come out guns blazing. And I remember my bedroom at the time in Alaska was up on the second level, and the bedroom window overlooked the side yard, a bunch of woods and stuff there. And two of the SRT guys, SRT Special Response Team, cops, Alaska State Troopers, were out there, and I had red dots on my chest. They were in the bushes. I saw them. They saw me, obviously. And the rest of the team was outside the door, bedroom door, waiting for me to come out. But again, the team leader recognized what I was doing, what I was experiencing. Sorry. Big truck. And he was able to talk me down. And so 6 of them. I ended up wrestling 6 of them. Of course, that never ends well for me. So I did come out without a weapon. That's why I was wrestling, not full of holes. And I guess I don't need to go into it anymore. They took me into the 4th floor of the Fairbanks Memorial Hospital. That's the mental health ward where I was spent some time feeling my feelings. And that's when I finally started to realize that something wasn't right with me. And it was the first time I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. It's not a disorder. So, again, hope this trip will give me closure. And what else? Sum it up. Grief is a process. It's difficult. If you know anybody that's hurting, or if you're hurting yourself, reach out, man. Just make a phone call, call a brother, call a sister, call a friend, call a priest, call a doctor, call somebody and say, man, I need help. Please come help me. I need help. Or can you listen to me? Can you come pick me up? Can we go, talk this through? Whatever, just don't do what I did and what most veterans do, because we seem to be good at it, and that's isolate. I isolated for a very long time. And again, now at this point, I'm a single dad, right? And I got 3 young boys who just lost their mom at home. And dad's a freaking mess. And their world's now a mess. And they lost their mom, and they're pretty much lost their dad because he's out running. And so I went into the woods in Alaska. I did, and I asked my boys. I lived there one whole summer. I lived right inside of the Chena River, and just outside Fairbanks. So it's at 28 mile Chena Hot Springs Road. If you look it up on a map, it's right there. That's my boys. It's where I lived for a while. And again, it's a brief history, I guess. Soon after, isolating, not dealing with my stuff, I was trying to drink myself to death to avoid my pain. And I finally reached out, and I went into town, to Fairbanks. Checked into the 4th floor. So 2 times I was there. It's all in my medical records. If anybody wants to see it, I don't know why you would. And so after that, that was just the beginning, is my point. Shortly after that, I became homeless. I did, because I couldn't. I got out of the that's just a place where you go to get stable, and they let you out. You go right back to what you're doing anyway. So, I couldn't hold down a job. I'm a carpenter by trade. I have a culinary degree. I could have easily, I got a job anyway. I worked out at Union Hall for a while as a carpenter, etc. But I couldn't deal with life. It didn't make sense. And so I lost my house and became homeless. I couch surfed for about 2 years. I couch surfed. I lived in the woods again. When it got cold in the winter in Alaska, being homeless in Alaska presents a whole new set of challenges. It's no joke, the cold there, especially in Fairbanks, 40 below is common. And the human body isn't made to sleep or live in those temperatures for an extended period of time, unless you got the proper gear and all that. And so about October is when I went to a shelter to get off the streets and out of the woods and off people's couches. And so I went to the Fairbanks Rescue Mission, and I stayed there for 2 years. First, I stayed as a resident, client, and then I actually got hired on as a staff member towards the end of my stay there. So, what does that mean? I have my own room. That's about it. I was still homeless. I was still living, working, eating every day with the homeless people and the street people. What an amazing experience that was. We talk about all types, all kinds, all personalities, all walks of life. Everyone has a story to tell, and most of them want to tell it. They just want someone to listen. So I guess I'm told I have that gift, a spiritual gift. Sorry, I got a package. So I'm able to see through people's masked facades and recognize what's driving that behavior. That's what I was told. And what does that mean? It means I see them for who they are. God lets me see their hearts, I guess is a good way to put it. So if they're acting the part, being the tough guy, and I had a couple of those gangbangers too, and they went right up to me. Most people couldn't even deal. It took them to talk to them because they were so scary, and they were scary. And so if they're the tough guy, or if they're the poor me, if they're the beggar, the drunk, whatever you want to call them, I call them human beings. I'll call them. They're not the boogeymen that people make them out to be. They're people, and they're all just a result of their life experience. How is that? How can you hold that against them? Like when people were judging me when I was homeless, because they did, and I walked around, I looked like the scary bum, and I did, I'm sure. My point is I don't look at them that way. I looked at them like they're people, because they are. And they have hearts and souls and feeling, and they got family. Most of them. Some of them, unfortunately, don't know who they are, where their family is. Some of these people, they have birth certificates. Social security, nothing. And so my job was to help them go through those processes to get those things. So now I'm just rambling on, I know. So I guess another way of avoiding your grief, right? I'm probably about 30 minutes from doing that. So I'm gonna end it here so I don't talk your ears off. And look, I put Annie to sleep. And she can pick up on me, on my energy. When I start getting anxious, if she'll come, that's when she'll start feeling it. And so she'll either respond one of two ways. She'll either come up and intervene and keep me grounded, or she'll feel stressed herself. Like she might be right now. I don't know. So I'm gonna go check on her and check on my wife, and I'll check y'all later. Peace.